We are live. Welcome to today's what Saturday. Oh, my wife was with me.
To
It must be Gamers Health. Welcome all. Welcome all. Thank you for joining us. So it's the TXG is hanging. So this is going to be an interesting show because we got a lot to cover. A lot of ground to cover. Oh my god. But not the least of which is it might be fall, but we just started spring cleaning, which means we
well,
replaced.
we've been spring.
Yeah, but today was overdrive on the spring cleaning.
But yeah, today was like
So I actually got
no
18 minutes.
rest.
I got 18 minutes of exercise on my Apple Watch from all the
That's
cleaning we've been
amazing.
doing.
All I got was 3,
I know, I know.
and we did the same
John,
stuff.
welcome. Well, no, I did a lot more trips down 2 flights of stairs to get outside to put out the
I did a
recycling.
couple myself. Down 2 flights of stairs in the house. To
Yeah, your
pick
watch doesn't
garbage
like you,
stuff.
damn it.
Yeah, I guess.
So we got rid of a table that I thought was stone, but apparently was just really good heavy wood laminate. So of course we damaged that, but damaging it in the attempt to destroy it, and we couldn't destroy it. So,
it
um,
was fun trying, but
yeah,
frustrating when it didn't happen.
yeah, the stone isn't breaking; it's just denting. Ah, son of a.
And emitting a chemical smell. That was not good.
Yeah, no, no, and this table is what, a dozen years old. We got it.
Um, yeah, we got
Mm,
it shortly after we married. So
yeah.
yeah.
So, in any case, this large round table that was really not useful is now replaced by the one that my niece refers to as the desk.
What's this? Why do we have a desk?
Yes. So, but going through a lot of stuff, organizing. So, and then getting more shelving. We're going to get in basically an indoor garden. I will
Because
only
you have
have
to have your veggies and
your herbs.
salad and herbs for the
Yeah,
winter time.
yeah. So we are trying to be very healthy, and there's a lot of reasons why.
Hmm.
But well, I guess I could say there's a very important reason why right now, because listen, you all know if you've listened to me before, I am a cancer survivor. I had Hodgkin's, uh, God, about 17 years ago. Uh, Welcome, tabletop. So, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's about 17 years ago. Now, I am an example of pretty much what not to do because you go into this denial. My neck swelled up over lunch at work, and it's like, you got a goiter. I worked with a fellow Jewish sergeant, but I would just button my shirt up so you wouldn't see the goiter. But my friend Kenny, God bless him, convinced me to see his doctor, and looked at me, and within 2 minutes, I had orders to get an X-ray done, and the X-ray was for my abdomen, but the lump was up here, or actually, my chest and my abdomen.
Was it X-ray or a sono?
No, it was X-rays for my chest and my abdomen,
Oh,
and it was right. It's right up the block from the discount store. It's that
yeah,
Sono.
yeah.
Yeah.
PMI.
So, and I got into an argument with the technician who insisted I can see your neck is swollen. Why am I not doing your neck? I go, listen, I'm not the doctor. Well, the reason why he wasn't doing my neck is because my doctor knew what that was.
Yeah.
He knew it was a tumor, and he knew it was Hodgkin's. He was trying to see where my other tumors were, if there were any, and there were. There was a grapefruit here, and there was this baseball here, and the neck was a hacky sack. So sends me to the specialist, makes the phone call right from his office. I have an appointment the next day. I see my oncologist, and he's like, "Yeah, you have stage 2 Hodgkin's, and we can cure it." And I always thought, "Hey, Shannon,"
Hi.
that was where the surprise is. Our niece Shannon, she can hop in a seat right behind and join in if she wants to. So, but I delayed seeking help until somebody forced me to seek help because we get into this denial a lot of times about our health. I'm okay. It'll go away. It's nothing. Rach is pretty much the opposite of what I was. Rach is on top of shit. So, oh, okay. Why does Shannon look older? I said the same thing. She doesn't. She's more confident, yo.
We're all a little older.
She's ready to go punching. She's like, anybody opens up their mouth and they say, boom. Nah, she'll be like, just don't say that shit. You know. But yes, cancer sucks. But I never lost my. I had chemo. I went so well. I had 2 extra cycles, which was 2 extra months of chemo. Didn't lose my hair. It's still here. I never lost it back then. And had 4.5 weeks of radiation. But now, if maybe obviously I should have gone to the doc right away and gotten that shit looked at and taken care of. Now, the story turns over to my lovely wife, who has her own story to tell now.
Yeah, all I can say is I'm right in time for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I so I do my mammograms like every year. Like I do like a mammogram and a sonogram every year of my chest. And so when they were I did my usual first one. Last year was interesting though, because they had me come back for what's known as a diagnostic. And so the diagnostic takes different pictures and stuff like that. But they didn't find anything. And I was like, they were like, oh, give me a clean bill. And so, when I went back this year, there was like, oh, come back for your diagnostic. And I'm thinking, oh, they just know they can do that now with me. It's a cash grab, So I didn't want to believe, like, there could be anything there. So I was, very confident when I went in. Oh, they're not going to find anything. It just must be that the tissue is very dense there, or whatever. And so, they did the diagnostic stuff, like, and then after I finished that, it was very quick that they were like, oh yeah, you need a biopsy. And so I went for that a few weeks ago.
2 weeks?
2.5 weeks ago, maybe. Did that, and then, just, I guess, Thursday, the 14th, not last Thursday, Thursday before, they my primary care called me, because that's who writes the order, because he sees me more often. So when I think, oh, let me follow up on the mammogram, he's the one that I see like more often than the gynecologist, who's like, just like, you go every year and that's it. But he called me on that day and said, oh, well, it came back that there's cancer there. And but they can't really explain much. I think they leave that to the specialist.
They know what stage it is when they see it, but I don't know, 0.1% chance that they're wrong. They're leaving it to the specialist to tell you. My humble opinion. I could be fucking wrong.
And of course, like, they don't give you a lot of detail. However, they'll say like encouraging things, and you're just like, oh yeah, it's just because he has to say encouraging things so that I'll come and whatever, and not just like say fuck everything, But yeah, so they let me know. And that was a really difficult week, because you're kind of walking around like not knowing, and then you're kind of like walking around like researching about breast cancer, and then there's a lot of complexities to it. So there's a lot that's like you can only go so far with, because you haven't seen the report, you haven't You
Time out.
haven't heard
Time
from
out.
your dog.
Time out. I'm going to give my advice, which is pretty much what I said in the surgeon's office, that Rach should never look at a fucking medical report again. Shannon's heard my language, so she's like, yeah, okay, yeah. You say you go, Uncle. You go, Uncle.
Yeah, so these reports are crazy because they have like
They're not
there's a lot
meant
of
for-
medical shorthand and
that's because they're medical.
terminology and
They're medical
like
reports.
citations. You're like, and then you're like, oh, is that referring to me? And what does that even mean? You know, so like you're driving yourself crazy looking up these terms and you know,
She thought she had a tumor, yay big. It's
yeah,
I thought it's the size of my thumbnail.
I read.
She's like, oh my god, it's like
Listen.
Listen to my crazy wife, and I only call it
So
crazy
I read
because I
the
love
report
her.
and I see tumor left breast, and they're like 14 cm, and then it says FN. So I'm like, what's FN in cancer? You know, because I think that's the diagnosis.
Fucking
above
normal.
It says, no, above it says that. So apparently that was 14 inches. But the needle that took the tissue out to check for cancer. So, but really, my tumor is cherry size.
It's
2 centimeter tumor. So, when we went to the surgeon yesterday, we got they broke it down and explained like what it was and what we gonna do. And yeah, you want to respond to it quickly, but you know, so I'll have it being taken out in another couple of weeks, and they supposed to get the call for when I'm supposed to get the surgery done, and they don't even know if I need that. They'll reevaluate me to see if I need the radiation.
Yeah, 2 months down the line.
Yeah, 6-8 weeks after the procedure. But it's great. I'm happy that it's stage 1, and just a lot of relief.
Don would like to point out that 2 centimeters is about 3/4 of an inch, so that's a really small cherry. Really?
I don't know. When I looked it up online, I said it was the size of a cherry.
Well, maybe it's the size of a cherry pit.
Oh,
In that, and by the way, you see this, right? She's looking more stuff up online.
What?
No, well, I'm talking to Rachel.
What's gonna happen to me? What's gonna be? What happens? And what do they do? What do I expect? You know, that's just what I do. You know, I don't want to surprise it, so I'm like, oh, let me just make sure. You know, unless I really want a surprise, but I don't want a medical surprise.
Right? Yeah.
So yeah.
You married me for lack of surprises.
Right. So he's not a surprise kind of guy. So yeah, you know, like I'm just very I feel very grateful and very, you know, relieved that, you know, and very glad that I was doing the steps that I need to do and, you know, following up. Like you know, that was one of the things that was really hard for me with my mom. Like my mom, she was very avoidant of, you know, seeing a doctor unless she was in very serious pain, you know, and like couldn't function. And then like when it's like that, then it's not good. No. You know, so she passed away from uterine cancer. So like, you know, when I heard of cancer, I'm like, that's what my mom had, you know.
You know, give yourself a breather. I'm gonna catch up on comments.
Go ahead.
Don, Shannon looks older, I think, as her hair is down and slightly curled.
She's always had wavy hair, but the rain is making your curl pattern come out more.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, but why? Look at me, I got the frizzies. I tell you. Tammy, this weekend right here where we live in Auburn, Lewiston, Maine, is the Dempsey Challenge. It's a giant fundraiser for Patrick Dempsey for curing cancer.
Oh, cool.
TXG, my dad had a tumor on his spine. He basically ignored it until it became unbearable. He finally went to the hospital. He started chemo the next day. The doctors were more scared than him.
Oh, wow.
Don, Rach, you have lots of support. Kicking cancer's ass is going to be a norm in your house.
Yes.
We are all here for you, and I mean that.
Thank you.
Tammy, I so would have hugged you longer. But remember, like in our Swords and Wizardry game, you are a battle axe, a beast, and you have the entire community behind you.
Aw.
TXG, the C word has a lot of weight. It certainly does.
Mhm.
Now my horror stories, this is what 17 years ago I was diagnosed with cancer.
Mhm.
So I went on the internet and I'm like going Hodgkin's.
See, you did it too, so you can be like,
Oh no,
oh, silly wife.
but I've told you in the past to stop doing
Okay.
it. So I go.
Oh yeah, I don't stop.
So now, listen, we're all gamers. If you're watching this, you're most likely a gamer. And what do gamers like to know? Odds, probabilities. Give me the percentages. So that's the thing I'm looking for. What's the survival percentage?
Mhm.
And I was seeing with Hodgkin's, it was like 82%. And my mind goes 82%, which means 18% don't make it through it for the first, I don't know how many years they call it. 2 years, 4 years, whatever that cutoff is for they. I went, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, they usually go like 5-10 years.
And then my friend Kenny, who did some time in he was pre-med, then became a lawyer, well, became a teacher and a lawyer, and at our age, he became a doctor. But back then, he was like, listen, you do realize that when they give you those numbers, that includes people's autoimmune disease, cancers of other types,
Mhm.
AIDS. He goes, when you take those factors out, and he did a little bit more research, he goes, you take those factors out, your stage 2 has a 98% or better survival rate. I went, oh. Why don't they just say that?
Wow.
Because
They never do.
they never do. So that's the reason
They
why.
never do. They just want you scared.
Yeah. That's just it's a hard ride, I tell you.
Yeah.
Tammy.
But yeah, like he says, like just always follow up with,
That's what Tammy says. That's the reason women need to get regular mammography.
yeah.
They are awkward, it can be, and uncomfortable. Literally making a pancake out of a cantaloupe. Shannon's like, what the fuck? Did I just hear
So
making...
it's a machine that flattens it. Yeah, you feel the machine going.
It's time to deflate. But yes, this is why. TXG, glad you quoted early, Rach.
Yes.
Most people think if they ignore it, it will go away. That was me with my neck.
Aww.
And it literally swelled up over lunchtime, and it was lymphatic fluid.
Aww.
But there were signs there for the longest. I mean, I used to joke that when I had sinus problems, and this was before I had Hodgkin's, literally I would call myself Cro-Magnon man because the swelling behind my eyebrows would come out, in like half an inch to an inch, because that was lymphatic fluids that were backing up. My body was already prior to that, but I started going to doctors regularly when I had Hodgkin's. You should be doing this. Of course, now I see so many doctors, I lose track of it. It's like,
yeah,
I've got 2 GP. I have 2.
You have 0 GPs.
I got 0 GPs.
I mean, primary cares.
But my cardiologist doubles as my primary. Maybe he said it. I have, but I have 2 cardiologists really. One's a heart failure specialist. I have an endocrinologist. I have an orthopedist. I have what do they call it? The kidney doc.
Nephrologist.
A nephrologist. All to keep everything going, smooth. Now I'm going to mention.
Well, it's always the things. It's like you want a specialist for each thing that could go wrong, given your condition. Like, I only need to see the endocrine because I have Hashimoto's. Of course, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, if there's certain things that are indicated that can go wrong because you have a certain condition, then that's why they link you.
definitely. And that's the thing. Now, I'm going to mention the name of somebody well known in our community who has been very honest about their past, but their present has been rough. Ernie Gygax.
Mm.
And Ernie had signs that there were issues, and he did not seek medical help. And he is very lucky. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
I am so happy he is home. Home with his wife, home with his family. Hospital stays are not fun.
Mm-mm.
Did it 3 times in 2020. I did start joking with my second hospital stay because it was like over 3 weeks that it was my vacation, that I was away. The food was good. I hate to say that about hospital food. The food was good, but and the staff was good. But yeah, you're confined to a bed. You're not. This isn't vacation. You're being poked and prodded. Your sleep schedule sucks because you're constantly being woken up for vital signs or meds or this or that or the random crazy three rooms down that's screaming their ass off.
Aw.
So it's never fun. And the
Yeah.
fear always is when you go into a hospital and you have to stay the night, will I ever get out?
That's why I'm happy this is just day surgery.
So there you go, Rachie.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. There. It's gonna be easy. Like I said, with Rach, they don't expect any chemo, and even radiation is a question. If it might not need radiation, that's awesome. They do remove 1 to 3 lymph nodes that could be linked to
Yeah.
that breast.
So they inject you with a dye that
Radioactive.
tracks where your lymphatic fluid drains out of which lymph node. If it's just one, then
They just take
they'll
the
take
one.
that. If it's two,
Oh, yeah.
that. If it's three, then it's shit.
Everybody is different, and that's interesting stuff to notice. But the thing is, you got to be on top of this stuff. Now, since we have a guest with us, Shannon, do you have any topics that you wish to discuss?
I don't know.
I don't know. Come on, kiddo. Throw one out there.
I don't know. You don't give me time to think about this story.
Oh,
You know when this is.
Uncle's gonna be like, Shannon, anything you want to share? It's like, oh, goddamn, Uncle. Oh, he should sit on a hot penny and let it burn his ass. That's what I'd like to see right now. No, Shannon, that can't be the topic, by the way. Just saying. No. Don, with me, they injected that dye in my foot to track and scan for leaking lymph nodes.
Okay.
I know that the test well. I can chat with Rach to let you know what to expect.
Oh.
Okay.
Cool.
There you go, Rach.
Thank you.
Fun time. Listen, and that's the thing, right? Lymph nodes. Until you have an illness that deals with lymph nodes, you don't know what a what?
But yeah, that's always my question. It's like, well, if they take off 3, I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna be swollen arm person, or like,
No, but
what am I gonna have to do to make the
fluids flow?
Because the lymphatic system, the drainage only goes one way. Like it only goes towards the heart. So that's why like it doesn't have like a force of its own.
Right.
So that's why you have to exercise and move around. So maybe I'll have to do more movement and exercise to make it go.
Well, there you go.
Back to the heart. I don't know.
Back to the heart. And you're to blame. Oh no, different song. Different topic. Never. That's shot through the heart, and you're to blame.
Yeah, those things are just very preventable.
Don't. Yeah. God damn. So, in any case, we are in the midst of the remains of Ophelia, which means, so for those of you following along at home, we've had 2 times we've had to call a plumber for locked up sewage.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Okay, I had a leaky sink that in the kitchen sink that I had to fix that was leaking into the downstairs bathroom. downstairs kitchen. And we have had, and I'm smiling at this one, we have had what was presumed, not by me and not by Rach, but was presumed to be condensation from the bathroom fans building up in the attic.
Yeah, it was a pretty convoluted
Because it couldn't be
chain there.
it couldn't be a roof leak. But now it's confirmed that we have a roof leak. So this has been one hell of a season of I don't know, plumbing and other water issues in this house. Should probably stop drinking water. Why not? You see, it made me belch. So now last week, why weren't we on last? Why weren't we on last week?
Because we were chilling up in Connecticut and playing games and having a few drinks.
How many drinks did you have?
One.
Too many. Okay, so yeah, we had a really great time.
On Friday, I drank more than.
Well, yeah. See, Saturday she was recovering from Friday's drinking, and then the late.
No, I wasn't even there.
Yeah. But we had a really good time at ShireCon. ShireCon was a one-day con. Now it's like a day and a half, a day and a third, or it's one session on Friday. It was one session on Friday, 3 sessions on Saturday. Next year it's going to be 2 sessions on Friday.
And the nice thing about it is that when you go to that con, you game. You're going to play. I just enjoyed all of my games.
Well, Rach, you received a gift.
Yes. I got a set of rubber dice from Bob G.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was nice because they're like reflective also. And like very visible. So like they were fun to roll. And it was funny because it would spook everybody else because they'd be like, I can't hear your dice. They'd be like, your dice roll so quietly. And, they were like, it's freaking me out. And we're like,
I can't.
And it was just so fun to like.
The problem is, though,
let me see it,
These dice bounce.
They do, yeah.
So Rach might have to bring like a collapsible leather dice tray to her next convention. Because she's going to be, these dice like have like a life of their own. And it's like, oh no, where did it go? And it's not like your ears can follow it like under the table.
No, that's usually what I rely on. But
yeah.
Thank God we didn't have to, worry about that this time.
I think one went off the table. It was found
only once, but it was found because it
didn't.
It kind of went down my leg.
It didn't try to hide.
No.
It was like, here I am. Here I is. But we had a great time. We played in Kill the Lawyers game on Friday evening. I ran a game Saturday morning of Swords and Wizardry Light. And then we played in the DCC Weird West game. The session was run by Ian McGartney.
Oh my God, that was so good.
So
we were killing zombie.
Oh yeah, Rach, as Ian put it, Rach is the most bloodthirsty player he ever has sit at his games. Doesn't matter where it's at.
Like, let's keep shooting. Oh, there's a character called Gunslinger. Let me have it.
Yes, Gunslinger. This sounds like right up your alley. Of course, I had to take the Preacher Man because that is usually my role when it comes to RPGs of the fantasy ilk. And that's how I played in a Star Wars D6 scenario. Not this year, the prior year at North Texas. I played the Fallen Jedi. So basically, the alcoholic, drunken type of priest.
What was this game?
It was a cross between Star Wars and Aliens.
I don't think I played that.
You didn't. I think that you were doing your certification that.
Oh, okay. Mhm.
So James Shields is running it, and he signed me up
yeah.
for it. Yeah, Tammy says you are brutal. She really is. She just wants to kill. That's your aunt, Shannon.
Mm.
Do you see your aunt as a bloodthirsty biatch?
Sometimes.
When she yells at me about fucking syrup in the car.
I wasn't eating cereal.
Get up in Terry and see
I
him
didn't
in the
even
car.
touch the cereal.
Yeah, the syrup never got opened. It was just like looking at the pancake.
And then they were like, he eats your syrup.
Ah,
And I was like, no, you're not.
I don't like cereal.
No, you're not.
no. Oh, that's right. So Shannon, a serious question.
Mhm.
For breakfast. Oh my God.
Serious.
We can have pancakes. You can have a breakfast taco, which is
Like the soft taco.
yeah, soft taco with egg and cheese and sausage and salsa. They're a lot of fun. Or we could put a breakfast sandwich on an English muffin.
Pancakes.
I always know it's going to be
Mhm.
pancakes. Can I have pancakes? Of course. And then she'd be like, I want red velvet pancakes. I don't know if we have any. I'd have to check.
No, we don't.
Okay.
You sent the package home. Where?
Oh, that's right.
Last night.
That's right. I did.
And mommy had better have had made them.
Made them for me. Oh, what am I saying? So actually, so what else? Like next week, doctor's appointments galore. I have
Oh, we both have the orthopedic
on Monday.
Yeah.
I have my endocrinologist on Tuesday. My blood sugar numbers have been up since getting off the Manjaro, but my heart rate has been down since getting off the Manjaro, and my weight has gone down since getting off Manjaro, which is the exact opposite of what should have happened.
Well, that's because you're eating differently.
True, I am eating much
You're
more
not using the Manjaro as a blank check to eat,
shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. When I'm on Manjaro, I'm like, oh, yeah, let's. Mac and cheese sounds like
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, they had a interesting conversation, like an interesting like panel discussion in this symposium. It's like a yoga. It's a symposium about like how yoga and yoga can help like eating disorders and people with other types of addiction like chemical dependency and stuff like that. And it was interesting because we were talking about like pharmacotherapy for these things. And I think what was interesting, so much came up about Wegovy, Mounjaro, Ozempic, as like weight loss medications, and it was just so funny to like hear people talking about it as and like almost as like an addiction medicine.
Really?
Yeah, but it was not. Like it's not. It's a medicine for diabetes, but there's this other side effect that helps, and there's just different things that the medicine does like to your like brain receptors related to food and stuff like that. But it was interesting because there was like an ethical discussion about, well, if somebody starts taking things like this, it was interesting because it was sort of like the discussion like that people have around like Suboxone and methadone, like, oh, would you ever maintain somebody on it for their life? Like a lot of times people stay on methadone for their entire life,
Right.
but I don't think like things like Wegovy and Mounjaro Ozempic, I don't know that you're meant to stay on it for your whole life,
No, you're
and then also it's like it's not been studied in people with like eating disorders. So like people just see like, oh, the person has a BMI of this, and they'll be like, yeah, here's this will help, not knowing that the patient is like,
well.
they're binging or purging or like, having
Here's the thing:
other
with
issues.
Manjaro, I never got illish. I never vomited from the Manjaro.
But it made you so uncomfortable.
It made me very uncomfortable, especially initially, to the point where I was popping antacids like they were candies, and I was a sugar addict, which is probably the reason why I have a small kidney stone. Not hopefully that's on the way I'm going. But honestly, the thing is that with the Manjaro, you can't eat as much in a single sitting.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have food and I would have to leave it and then come back to it a half an hour later. And my blood sugar at night, I had so many nights where I was up 2 to 3 times with the blood sugar going.
Oh yeah, we had to get you sugar.
I mean now
you candy or
juice, right? So it's. I'm going to be seeing my endocrinologist, and he's going to be disappointed in my numbers. But I'm going to tell him the fact too that hey,
yeah, that's the Tuesday appointment.
Yep, I'm going to tell him also, hey, my resting heart rate's down anywhere from 15 to 20 beats a minute, and I know that I can get my blood sugar down further, but my body is going to have to acclimate to my change of diet.
Mm-hmm.
I need to acclimate to my change of diet, which is. Mm-hmm. When you feel you can eat anything, and literally could, and then it's like, oh, it's like, oh, hey, I don't want to get woken up tonight by my blood sugar going low. Let me have some pizza. That sounds like a good way to. And it's like, yeah, maybe not. Of course, though, I did buy a large bag with smaller bags of the raspberry lemon Swedish fish.
And you haven't been able to have them because there has not been a reason.
Yeah.
They'll be there. They'll be there.
Yeah, no, I know. They're not going to go bad. I know. But I bought them because it was like, I'd have my blood sugar going low and I'd have to chomp down on a bunch of Swedish fish. And it's like, oh, I really like these. These should be fun. And I was like, oh, guess what? You're no longer going to be covered. Which, again, getting off it, I can see the trend.
See, those, I think, too, are the ethical dilemmas. Who gets to get this medication, and, like, especially, too, like, when there's shortages, like, are you going to have it so that the person who is just trying to lose weight doesn't have some other medical issue to take it, are they gonna have to wait? Probably not, because they're coming in there and laying down that money, that
right
$1,000 a month or $3,000 a month to
turn just about $1,000.
Yeah,
I mean, I could have gotten my cost would have gone from $25 a month to $425.
See, that is an ethical thing to me too, like. Yeah, and it was interesting. There was a psychiatrist on the panel, and she was like, this whole like Wegovy, Ozempic, and Mounjaro thing. She was saying that it reminded that they, are pushing it so hard. It reminded her of like the OxyContin marketing that they used to do back in the day. So I was like, that's some red flags right there,
Yep. Oh, actually, I know something that Shannon should. Shannon, you've actually learned something this year.
What?
Sign language.
I can just say my name.
Oh, listen.
I can't do mine.
I can't do mine. What was it like? E.
No.
R. I. Okay. I've never learned how to do my I've never learned how to do it. So Shannon, how do you do your name in sign language?
It's like S. H is just like 2 fingers. A. N, and then like a double letters you slide. And then O, and then N.
Nice.
Now you see, that's knowledge. You go into any kind of job that deals with people, you'll find yourself using that.
Mm.
You know, I used my German. Well, I guess once in retail and once as a cop. I used my Spanish once as a cop, which was hilarious because I didn't really speak any Spanish, and the woman I was speaking with spoke no English. But we got ourselves our communication down to the point where I could get her granddaughter's identification and everything that was needed.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Don says the BMI is a horrible,
Yeah.
unbalanced
Yeah,
marker.
yeah.
It is. My BMI when I go into the police department, they measure BMI by calipers.
Oh.
That pinch more than an inch that they used to talk about in the 80s and 90s. Can you pinch more than an inch?
I mean, there is something to it. Like when you carry a lot of belly fat, it's more dangerous for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying. But
So they used the calipers on
time.
me, and my body fat was too high, and I was told I was maybe given 2 months to get myself to the proper weight. And then they called me back in a week and a half and told me I had to come in 3 days. And I said, I thought I was told 2 months.
And you were doing sick amounts of crunches, right?
Right. Well, I had an ab roller and I had this ab crossbow machine. So I would before going to work, I would ab roll. When I would come home, I'd do this crossbow machine constantly. So when I said I thought I was given 2 months, they said, well, welcome to the world of the NYPD. So when I tell you 2 months, don't think it's going to be 2 months. So brought back, and lo and behold, I lost enough. I lost it maybe 1.5 pounds, but I lost it where I tightened my waist up. So even in the gym when we were doing like you got tested on your ability to run 1.5 miles. God, I made that. You had to drag a dummy. You had to do this little obstacle course. You had to climb a wooden wall. They changed it to a chain link fence, which makes a lot more sense. They had this wooden wall. You had because who's climbing a wooden wall? By the way, you're climbing cement walls.
Yeah.
You're climbing brick walls. Cinder block walls. You got something that has a little bit of attraction to it. You're not climbing wooden walls.
That's been shellacked.
Yes, definitely.
Probably.
Fucking shellacked. Well, you can't get splinters. It wouldn't, but they also tested you on your sit-ups. And my company, the people were like, how the fuck is Eric getting? I did like I don't know, like 62 sit-ups in a minute. They're like, how the fuck? I didn't look like I was in great shape, but I really had a very tight abs and
That's great.
So you can do spot exercising. I mean, for years after the academy, I had calves. Probably I have problem calves now of a footballer. They were huge from all the running that we did, and I didn't run very well, so therefore, I'm sure my calves took more impact than they should have.
Yeah, the knees probably.
Tammy, Tom, and I are fasting. I was so against it years ago when he was interested, but it really scientifically a thing. Fast for 12 hours, you pick. Don't have to do it every day. I lost 17 pounds.
Congratulations, Tim.
Very cool.
Great work.
I guess if we started snacking earlier at night, because generally speaking, Rach and I, most days are 2 meals, occasionally 3. But usually most days are 2 meals. It's a late breakfast and then a early-ish dinner, maybe like dinner sometime between like 3:30 and 5:30. and then we snack around 10 o'clock on cheese, nuts, low carb stuff. Could we move that forward?
Mhm.
Sure. And then maybe we could get the 12-hour.
Fasting.
Yes.
Hmm.
TXG, the creator of the BMI, Lambert Adolphe Jacques Quintele.
Oh.
Too long a name for me, but I'm just saying, never intended it to be a gauge of an individual's health. I step in my morning scale. It tells me my BMI every morning.
Mm.
It tells me approximately what my percentage of water is and all this other
Oh,
stuff.
all those measures, yes.
So
Mhm.
now, if I keep trending as I am when I get to my doctor's office, not making more noise.
Your circle is talking.
My circle is it's the circle of life. When I was
It's still bitching over there.
yeah, when I was at I think my cardiologist, my last doctor, I was down 5 pounds for my over 3 months for my last visit, and I'm thinking that I should be down. If we keep the trend going, I
Mhm.
should be down about this. From my endocrinologist, for the first time, I'll actually have lost weight, and
Mm.
it'll be. And I'm off to Manjaro, so go figure that shit out.
Right.
So. Uh, Tom, last I checked, I lost 20 pounds and must be higher, as I have not weighed myself in weeks. Because of my congestive heart failure and sudden
Mm.
weight gain can be a sign of
Yes.
issues. Now, I have had times when I've had sudden weight gain and I've also not had bowel movement, so I can kind of, link one to the other. It's like, oh, I haven't vacated the premises. So, but
Evacuate.
I
Evacuate the bell.
I generally weigh myself 4 to 6 times a week, and if you put on more than 5 pounds in a week or 3 pounds in a day, it could be a sign. Now, the 5 pounds in a week, if you're going away on a vacation and eating like endless buffets every day, I think 5 pounds in a week would be lowballing it. But hey. Tammy, yeah, it's usually 10 p.m. to midnight. We stop eating and go 12 hours to the next day. Can have coffee, water, tea. It's working for us. Oh,
Just not milk in your stuff.
and Rach, we have those fasting bars too.
Mm-hmm.
We do have some nutrition bars that are supposed to be neutral when it comes to your fasting, that it doesn't affect your fast if you have them. So.
Yeah.
Oh, the tea.
In our cleaning out, we found an extra scale.
Still in the box, never used.
Yeah, so fresh out the box.
We'll
We'd offer it to you. Do you think your mom would
It's a smart scale, so you can hook it up with your
allow
phone.
for you to have it at home?
Yeah.
Okay.
She just wouldn't want to see it.
It's okay.
She's got an idea thing about scales. Yeah. That would be a good. I wonder if I could write a good D&D adventure about the horror of scales.
Oh God.
Or Call of Cthulhu adventure, or something like just something to wet your teethuses with. But so yeah. So listen, the journey continues,
Yep.
right? What is the saying? That which does not kill you makes you stronger.
Indeed.
It with Reach, it reinforces the idea of regular checkups, right?
Mhm.
And do your screening, do what they suggest, which means that
so that you're not living with regret, so that you. My mother always regretted not going, after she was very sick.
Right.
She would be like, I guess I deserve it because I wasn't going, and nobody deserves this. Just go.
I guess I should get the pooper checked one day.
Oh, I know. That's one that I'm terrified.
Yeah, it's like I actually through the World Trade Center, I actually went to my pre-op, but then never actually made the appointment to actually have the procedure done.
Oh, that was through World Trade. Oh, they made the referral for that.
Yeah, I was like, I was like,
yeah, when you hit 50, they're like, so
did they vacate your bowels? Do you get to drink that nice soda that?
I don't know. You drink some shit that makes
Yeah,
you
yeah.
very messy.
Don, Rach has someone who loves her no matter what, is in it for the long haul, whatever
Mhm.
that brings. I tell Rach, I only have one wife. You better not fuck it up. Okay?
Mhm.
I put the responsibility on her. I only have one niece, Shannon. Don't fuck up.
There you
Okay?
go.
I only got one. How many sons do I have, Shannon?
One.
If he fucks up, I'm fucked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So don't F me over. Yeah.
wow.
Whoa.
That actually, that can hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? Don't fuck up. Yes. TXG, ignorance kills a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, when I heard what Ernie was going through before he was hospitalized, or during his first hospitalization, and he got released, I knew the signs. I'm like, this is congestive heart failure. This guy's he's talking about difficulty walking, out of breath. It's like, oh, come on, dude. The reason why we do these shows, even if we get 8, 10, 12 people in a live stream, and people like, is it worth it for that? It's worth it because at the end of the week we get like 100 views, and you know what? That's 100 people that maybe
might make a better decision and might
have an opportunity
Yeah.
to self-reflect.
Or might take some encouragement
In
what they're doing.
Don says, Shannon, next time you are playing D&D with your uncle, make him pay. Uh-oh. Yeah, I could get you and your friends together and put you through some D&D, but it'll be old school D&D. None of this newfangled crap that these kids are talking about, and they got videos on and all that stuff. No, you're gonna play D&D where you get your experience and you get better by stealing stuff, not killing stuff. Stealing stuff.
Oh.
See? So it makes it a thinking girls game. But I'm pointing at my head, so I think
Sometimes we don't want to think. We just want to kill.
Yeah. Oh, I could just see it now. A D&D session with three generations in a house. You two, my mother. I run it, and all it's going to be is murder hobos. Murder hobos is just, we go from place to place, killing shit and taking their stuff.
Yeah. What D&D is supposed to be?
Bring it back to its roots. Oh, God. Well, folks, I think we're going to wrap it up because we still got a shit ton of work. If I'm going to make breakfast in the morning, I need to make some space for breakfast in the morning. So, thank you for all the kind words and the well wishes. I apologize to anybody who we did not. We knew last Thursday, but we didn't know last Thursday.
We knew enough to be afraid for ourselves. I knew enough to be afraid, but I, didn't know enough to be able to help people understand. And I think that was probably the most important to me to be able to do that. Yeah.
If you can't explain it, then you're kind of like, I don't know. It could be next to nothing. It could be really, 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 really bad. Well, which one is it? I have no fucking clue. Shit, I don't know. So we kept those cards close to the vest. But now that we know, we felt that this is a good way to encourage others to make sure you're doing your follow-ups. If your doctor says, "Hey, you're due for your mammogram," or you're due for, we got to draw blood. I know some people are like, I don't want to draw blood. We got to check your numbers. Just do it. Do it. How many? Not everybody has 9 lives like
No.
I do. Most people get get one. It's very precious. Treat it like that. All right, folks. As always, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. I'll be back again tomorrow with some random video stuff. I'm not quite sure what, but we'll have something to entertain you with. All right, folks.
Take good care.
Laters.
Bye.